Perfect. So I am recording on, so we just had a virtual workout. Emily is still finishing her workout, so she actually closed her screen, I think, to not be a distraction. And then there was a question about how to make sure that we were putting the right things in containers for Portion Fix if you were following one of our nutrition plans. So I just wanted to show access to what these nutrition plans looked like. Let me just open a new window up on my computer. And so I'm just going to go to beachbodyondemand.com. And so if you don't have access to this, but maybe you have, let me go over here and grab one of these. I don't know, maybe you have this in your suitcase of fitness, P90X or Hammer Chisel or Turbo Jam or Quarter Force. P90X and Turbo Jam, the printed materials for those would not be printed. It would just be on Beachbody On Demand. But for these, you should have gotten things like printed materials for the program. And there's printed materials for them. I'm just saying, oops, don't you guys look at my password. That's okay. Anyway, so there's printed materials for them, but I wanted to show how Beachbody has evolved to share nutrition easier with Portion Fix. So the question that I had gotten was for the Hammer and Chisel program, which all of our Beachbody programs actually do follow. They're created to follow their own nutrition guide, but then also most of them have information in there about Ultimate Portion Fix nutrition and following 2B Mindset nutrition. So I'm actually going to go to Hammer and Chisel. Hammer and Chisel was set up to follow Portion Fix nutrition. So if you ever bought this program in the past, it would have come with this, which is DVDs, or if you bought it off of Beachbody On Demand, their printed material is here on Beachbody On Demand. So I'm going to go to program materials because this is what would have been printed back in the day when I bought it. It was DVD, so it was printed, but I just couldn't find my printed materials, if I'm being honest. So I went to program materials, and now I'm in nutrition program and nutrition guide. So this will look the same if somebody has it printed or if somebody's looking at it on here. So program and nutrition guide. That picture is a little... Anyway, so the very first thing is figuring out what your nutrition needs are. So you basically just add, you calculate points. So if you're male or female, what your weight is, how active are you currently? So if you have a desk job, or maybe you're a server in a restaurant, or maybe very active, a construction worker. And then what's your goal? Lean out, maintain weight, build muscle. So I'm just going to kind of do what I would do. So I'm a female, so I have 1 point. I'm under 130 pounds, so there's 2 points for me total. I would consider my job pretty inactive, so that's -1. So now I just have 1 point. And then my goal, I'm almost always trying to build muscle, so 2. So I would add a 1. So now I'm at, my total score would be a 2. So my nutrition plan would be Plan B, 1,500 calories to 1,799 calories. So next is just the workout calendar. Just talking about nutrition and taking your before and after pictures. There's different program options, a little bit of safety. And then this is really what I wanted to get to, was the nutrition side. So I calculated it at Plan B. So I am looking at these little containers. This really describes what the containers are because it talks about how to use the food list. So pick your food item off the list and fill in the corresponding colored container with the item. So there are going to be food lists, so we will show you that as well. But Plan B, so this is how many containers I would get. So I would get 4 green containers. Because I've done these programs for so long, I know that a green container is veggies. I would get 3 purple. I know that purple is fruit. I would get 4 protein, 4 red. I know that red is protein. 3 yellow. Yellow is carbs. 1 blue, which is healthy fat. 1 orange, which is another form of healthy fat, but in the version of seeds and dressing, and then 4 teaspoons, which is like nut butters and olive oils and stuff. So there's tally sheets that you could use. So you could actually like write down, okay, here you can just print page 10 off multiple times for yourself, and then just kind of check off. So, here's day 1, and for your first meal, for me, I'm almost always eating veggies and eggs. So I almost always click off veggie and egg, and sometimes a teaspoon if I add in a teaspoon, sometimes a half of a blue container because I like to put avocado on my veggies and eggs. So here is the veggies list. Here's the fruit list. So then I would know if I wanted certain vegetable, like if I was like, okay, where does this fit? So I'm like, you know what, for breakfast today, I actually really want a peach and some sauteed spinach and 2 eggs. So peach, that's probably a fruit. Let me just double check, make sure it's on there. Okay, peach, yeah. So peach sliced or 1 large. So I know that I could have 1 large peach, or I could slice it and I could put it into that purple container to measure it out for the size. Same with veggies. So I said I wanted some spinach. So spinach is one of those you want to, if it's raw, you just shove it in there, and then and then if it's a full green container, then that's like a salad or something. But for me, I saute mine. So if I really wanted a full serving of spinach that was sauteed, that was cooked, I would actually put it into the container after it's cooked. I don't honestly do that very often. I normally just, I can eyeball at this point. I know how much is 1 serving. And then protein. So I was like, okay, I wanted my eggs. I think eggs are a protein. Let me double check. Oh yeah, they are. 2 large eggs is protein. Or if I was doing 8 large egg whites, that would be a protein as well. Just so you guys know, these container lists are actually set up in forms of, and I'm going to say this wrong, I'm going to say most healthy, most nutrient dense to least nutrient dense foods. So raspberries are very nutrient dense, whereas at the end of fruits list, you're actually going to see salsa and tomato sauce on there. And so those are actually considered a fruit in this case. So, but an actual tomato is considered a veggie. So it's just one of those, while I love each of the nutrition plans that come with the workout programs, you learn more about nutrition when you actually get Ultimate Portion Fix, which is about 30 different videos that really dive deep into the containers, that really dive deep into nutrition, that really help explain things even better than this. So I'm just giving you a brief overview. Again, healthy fat, seeds, teaspoons, and then beverages are also counted on here. And then for this program in particular, it has a different it has a different beverage than if you were like, I'm looking right here and I know that Beachbody actually changed how they calculate beverages for Ultimate Portion Fix. And so it's actually not a yellow container. I know that it's a teaspoon for like 8 ounces of unsweetened almond milk, anyways. We won't get into that. That's one of those things. Get into that with your coach if you really want to get specific. It even talks about water, coffee, tea, supplements. So with the Hammer and Chisel program in particular, I personally would not do it without Recover, without Energize, and without Shakeology. I personally wouldn't take on a hard program like that without really good supplements, because even if I'm eating all of these incredible nutrient dense foods, I know from experience where my body is and how well it reacts to having good quality supplements. And I used to hate the word supplements. I was like, that's weird. Like, why would I supplement anything? Like, I just want to eat whole foods. And I realized quickly after trying these that my muscles maintained better health. My energy was better. My overall health is better. I don't get sick nearly as often. I'm not in the doctor's office. The year before I started taking Shakeology, I literally had 3 Z-Packs that year. And I haven't had one since, and that's been 4.5 years ago. So I know how good nutrition and how those supplements of those vitamins have helped me. So anyways, that's all about the nutrition. Each workout program will also have some recipes in it. So these are just some recipes, and they will say like what are the container equivalents, so that if you're just like, I just need somebody to tell me straight up what to eat. The other thing I really like is I do this quite often. Sorry, I have to have my Recover. I just worked out and I'm really shaky. So I just search Beachbody meal preps on Google. And it brings me, and I always just search Beachbody meal preps. It's just how my brain works. I use the Google machine like it's nobody's business. And what I love about this, so I knew that I was in Plan B per that particular program. So this is on Google. This is free to anybody. You can have any of these meal preps yourself, even if you're like, I'm not doing the Beachbody thing. So Plan B was $1,500 to $1,799 was my calorie bracket. So I'm just going to click on that meal plans. And there is a meal plan for me. So there's actually one that's already laid out for me that I could follow. Now that one was a plant-based meal plan. So that one was not necessarily what I would normally do, which is funny because normally I'll just share with you, normally when I click on this, it pops up into a whole list of different options of different, like, you know, that one was a plant-based one. There's normally other ones, but I'm going to just scroll down and show you so that you can see that there's some other ones. You might have to, sometimes they're tweaking the website, basically, is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that very well, but they're tweaking the website. There's more than one meal plan for that portion container. Let me just see if one of these other ones pops up with better. It doesn't. So I apologize. I have like a list saved to my computer of the meal preps, so I typically pull that up too. But there's different meal preps for different calorie brackets. So there's an almost no cook. This is one of my favorite ones. So I just scrolled down on that meal prep. You could search Beachbody almost no cook meal prep and it would come up. But this one would be one that would fall into my calorie bracket. I wouldn't have to cook a lot that week if I knew I just wanted this. And some of the foods on here: coconut mango chia pudding, overnight oats, blueberry and spinach Shakeology, peach and nut butter Shakeology, tuna and white bean salad, Greek chicken salad, hard-boiled eggs, apples and nut butter, Greek yogurt with berries, black beans, rice and veggies, shrimp and veggie rice bowl. So everything's kind of laid out. And what it does is it shows you what your meals would look like for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, what they'd look like for Tuesday, Thursday. Here's how to do the breakfast. Here's how to prep your snacks. Here's how to do your dinners. There's your grocery list, and then the step-by-step plan to assemble it all. So when somebody is first learning Ultimate Portion Fix or Portion Fix Nutrition, I almost always recommend like going with a no cook or a low cook plan because it's just easier, and then following one of those because it's easier for most people if they just have straight inline plan. I will say our fitness program that has the most straightforward plan for nutrition is Shift Shop. Shift Shop fitness program actually tells you exactly what to eat and when to eat it, or not when to eat it, but exactly what to eat each week. And there's like no guesswork in it. So I hope that kind of helps clarify a little bit. Again, Ultimate Portion Fix is really what you would really want to explain and learn a little bit more about nutrition. But Lauren, did that answer your questions? Any others while you're still on the line with me?
Yeah, but if I do, I will Instagram you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I hope that helps. I'll put this in Fit and Faith and probably in Be Well community as well, so that people have this for a reference, because I know you aren't the only one that asks these questions. Like, it's very common, like, wait, what are these containers? What do I put in them? And I didn't even show, here, I'll show people that aren't familiar with what I'm talking about. This is a set of containers. There's containers inside of here. I just don't have them taken out, but that's what they look like. So they look really small, but I found that I'm eating a lot more than what I ever used to eat when I actually like follow the containers. And what it is it's kind of like food crowding, where you are getting such good nutrient dense foods that you're crowding it out to where your body is not going to want the junky foods. If you're eating all of the healthy foods, it's not going to want the junky foods because it is full and satisfied, and not like over full. Now there's, always talk with your coach. So like Lauren, will message with me if she's just like, wow, this is way too much food. Typically your coach would say, try it for about a week, maybe 2, and then bump down a bracket. Or if it's like, hey, I'm still super hungry, bump up a bracket. Breastfeeding moms almost always bump up 1 bracket because you add 500 calories. So there's just different things for different phases. So it's always good to talk with your coach. But again, Ultimate Portion Fix is the nutrition plan that does all of this in like a better, more professional setup of how to explain to use the programs. But yeah, that's it. There's also a thing called Portion Fix Hub. You can Google Beachbody Portion Fix Hub, and it will have more information just about Portion Fix itself. And I believe that's accessible even if you are not on even if you don't have Beachbody on demand. So if you're just like, I just want to snoop around and look and see if I would actually like this, you can snoop around and see if you'd actually like this. So, all right, let me stop my recording.